In the introduction mission, Tenpenny has extra lines of dialogue recorded after Carl is bailed out of the vehicle. But you can't actually hear these lines of dialogue in the final game because the police vehicle drives away from you.
58. See you around like a donut, Carl.
Officer Pendlebury's down. We'll be right over.
See, Hernandez? That is how an experienced officer deals with a known threat.
The mission Ryder was originally going to be titled Menace, according to a pre-release in 2004. Fascinatingly, if you visit the barbershop without any money, you'll automatically be given $52, which is just enough money to purchase the cheapest haircut and the cheapest thing from the fast food restaurant. Now, as we all know, Ryder reacts to CJ's haircut depending on what option you choose.
I told you he was crazy.
But there was actually going to be a third unused reaction that was probably reserved for the afro.
What's that, a wig or something?
In the mission tagging up turf, Sweet tells you that he's going to go off and tag another hood. However, it actually turns out that Sweet then is spawned at Grove Street, sitting there in the passenger seat until the next objective. This mission will instantly fail if you swap the spray can for another type of weapon, and upon doing so, Sweet will become hostile and start spraying you and choking you to death.
CJ, you always was a bitch. You must have been adopted.
The death animations for the ballers and the addicts in cleaning the hood are pretty unique. It almost looks for a moment like they have their own ragdoll physics, but if you shoot them again, you'll reset it. If you don't manage to take out the ballers before they reach Grove Street during drive-thru, a cutscene is going to play which shows them gunning down 2 Grove Street family members. You can actually walk away before getting into the car at the very start of Drive-By, and you will be able to explore the map freely for as long as you like. Because while in this state, no matter what you do, even entering restricted areas, you won't get a wanted level. Interestingly, you're actually able to store vehicles in the Doherty garage in San Fierro before you officially own it. CJ has an unused audio line in the mission OG Loke. This audio file is CJ expressing his worry about OG Loke potentially getting caught violating his parole.
Aw, shit. He gonna get caught violating his parole.
Originally in the beta in Running Dog, once you had taken out the target, the mission wouldn't pass instantly like it does in the final game. Instead, you'd then need to drive Big Smoke back home, where a really obvious dialogue would take place, which hints that Big Smoke potentially had some involvement with Tenpenny.
Let's go home, I gotta eat, man.
Okay, say Smoke, what's going on with you and Tenpenny?
Who?
Tenpenny.
Man, I ain't never heard of him.
I saw him leaving your apartment.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, you know it is.
Man, it ain't nothing. He a buster. Likes to give people a hard time, you know that, Carl. But you know me. It takes more than a fool like him to bug me out.
Okay, so in Wrong Side of the Tracks, there's also another interesting line of dialogue to listen to, which again hints that Big Smoke was working with Tenpenny.
Hey, I need to get this back to my crib.
Why Tenpenny want that package?
Who, Penny?
Don't bull me, Smoke.
Carl, man, there's something about you, man. Some kind of strange kind of aura, man.
Smoke, when you gonna stop with this weird bullshit? What's in the package, Smoke? No more bullshit.
I don't know, homie. I'm just trying to help these officers keep shit off the streets, man.
I don't trust them.
Sometimes trust ain't an option, home.
In Home Invasion, if you manage to steal at least 3 crates before waking up Furburger, the mission still goes ahead, just with a twist. Ryder will warn you that the cops have been alerted, and you'll instantly get a 2-star wanted level. Shortly after this, 2 police officers will show up in a police cruiser. If you look closely at the license plate of this vehicle, it actually reads The Pigs, which is a cheeky slang for police. If you follow Caesar to the race start location in High Stakes Low Rider, but you don't enter the marker, the entire map becomes a ghost town. This means that no pedestrians or traffic will spawn anywhere except for pre-parked vehicles. In Mad Dog's Rhymes, this mission is packed with hidden references, cut content, and small details that most of you would have missed. The male pedestrian in the introduction cutscene who yells at OG Loke, the Ballers gang member seen in the introduction, who had something to do with Beverly Johnson's death. He's also spotted in another mission in Ice Cold Killer later on in the game. According to the game files, the character's called Bogman. Now, the Brady Games strategy guide seems to have been based on an earlier build of this mission. It falsely claims that police will be alerted by an alarm. which is something that doesn't happen in the final version. Interestingly, the mission was also supposed to include a skateboard instead of the mountain bike. In Los Sepulcros, if the player damages Sweet's car enough to make it burn, the mission will fail and the message will say Sweet's car is ablaze and he's too smart to get back in. Originally, there was a small cutscene that would play between Carl eliminating all of the ballers and the police arriving in the mission Green Sabre, and Sweet weakly admits that he was wrong about Carl being a buster.
I told you to get the hell out of here, CJ.
Hey, I wasn't gonna lose another brother.
And I was wrong, Carl. You ain't no buster.
Now, a little bit later on, the witness you're sent to eliminate drives a Washington with a unique San Fierro license plate that reads Arseman. And if you decapitate the target using a katana, the mission will actually fail because the body can no longer be identified. In the mission Woozy Moo, a Walton can be seen randomly driving at a certain point in the race. What's unique about it is that the driver of this vehicle is one of the Elvis impersonator NPCs, which usually can only be found in Los Venturas. But for this occasion, this fella can be seen driving in this section of the map. And in the very next race, as we know, Claude is supposed to be in Catalina's car racing with her. But Rockstar made a mistake here, and actually it's a model of Woozy driving Catalina, of all people. In Are You Going to San Fierro, you're instructed to burn down the Truth's weed farm with a flamethrower, but there is other ways to get this job done. You can actually destroy the crops using a satchel charge, and you might not have realized this next one, but you can use the combine harvester as well, and doing so skips the sequence where Carl gets high from the fumes. In the mission Wear Flowers in Your Hair, interestingly, there's unused radar icons that were supposed to be used in the beta for places like the hospital and police station. This is the only mission these icons appear, and we don't see them again throughout the entire game. During the scene where Zero pilots his RC helicopter, you can aim a heat-seeking rocket launcher at it. However, it won't destroy it. The foreman in Deconstruction who takes a dump in the Portaloo has over 8 different lines of dialogue that can be best heard when CJ punches the toilet continuously.
Oh, my suit! It's ruined! Oh God, the dead! I'm gonna throw... Oh my own shit!
Did you know that the music that plays during the results screen of the driving school when a course is completed is a version of Review the Scores, which is made by Westar Music, which is a company that offer royalty-free sound effects and music, which is kind of surprising to discover. In the beta version of GTA San Andreas, the mission photo opportunity was originally going to take place from a helicopter. That would explain why during the mission, Caesar and CJ are shouting to each other. This was also originally going to be the first mission where CJ discovers that Ryder was working with Big Smoke against Grove Street.
Shit, Ryder! Damn Sherm head, fool! Oh man, it's true. Ballers rule the families.
In Outrider, it's possible to pass the mission instantly without having to follow the annoying roadblocks and taking out the enemies. To do this, all you need is some satchel charges and to place them by this van here as instructed. As soon as the van sets on fire from the explosion, you quickly have to drive into the mission marker. In the next stage of the mission, where you usually have to get on the Sanchez, you can now steal the van and drive it directly to the warehouse. In the mission Snail Trail, during the scripted chase scene, at one point you're going to come across a freight train going the other way. Now, if you turn around and follow this freight train, you'll discover that it has some rather unique and unusual properties. First of all, it has no collision with the ground. Second of all, it follows a strange train path that takes it flying through the air, through some mountains and across the map. In Ice Cold Killer, when you arrive at Jizzy's pleasure domes in order to take him out, if you destroy Jizzy's car before you go into the club, once he exits the club and you're instructed to chase him, because he no longer has a vehicle, he will now steal a Pizza Boy motorbike. So it's pretty cool that Rockstar knew that people would try this. In the mission Monster, Carl's finishing time directly affects the dialogue he hears at the end of the mission. Depending on how quickly you complete the race, the man evaluating CJ at the end will deliver different dialogues. If you do it in under 4 minutes 20 seconds, he'll be genuinely impressed, saying that Torino was right about Carl. Anything under 5 minutes, he remarks CJ is pretty good for a ghetto boy. If you do it in under 5 minutes 30, he says not bad, but nothing special. Under 6 minutes, he shrugs it off as just luck. And under 6 minutes and 30 seconds, he'll tell you that you made it just at the skin of your teeth. During the mission NOE, if you fly too high or get too close to Area 69, that will trigger a warning on the screen saying danger, restricted airspace. Now if you ignore these alerts, the game's going to send some hydras after you and shoot you down. Now strangely, these hydras aren't piloted by military personnel as you might expect. Instead, they're actually driven or flown, shall we say, by civilian NPCs, and specifically an elderly man, model ID 43, known as HMORI in the game files. In the mission Stowaway, one of the agents seen during the opening cutscene is armed with a unique dirt-covered version of the Defender Mark I assault rifle, which was originally featured in Manhunt. Obviously, this weapon is unattainable in GTA San Andreas. And if you jump out of the aircraft at the end without picking up a parachute, you'll unlock an alternate ending cutscene. Now the plane in this mission is scripted to fly so high above the flight limit that it's actually possible to see the door markers for the Blue Hell universe where Rockstar keep all the interiors above the map. In the mission Black Project, if CJ's fat statistic is above 60% when you try to start the mission, a unique cutscene will play because the truth is making fun of CJ for being too fat, which would likely not let him fly the jetpack.
Torino, where are you?
Wrong devil, CJ.
Truth! How are you?
In better shape than you, fat ass.
What? Hey, you watching me?
Can't talk now. I need your help for something special. Come back here when you've lost some weight, fatso. I'll be waiting.
Hey man, what the... Dang! I ain't that chubby.
Now, a very similar outcome can be heard in the very next mission, Green Goo, for the very same purpose, due to the fact that you need to fly a jetpack in the mission as well.
Carl, it's the truth.
Hey man, where you at? Sound like you in a cave or something.
Around. Been eating a lot lately, Carl? Not getting enough exercise?
Yeah, I guess.
Look, I want you to use that gizmo you acquired, but you gotta lose some of that ballast first, fat ass.
Now, this one is really interesting to me. Originally, High Noon was actually going to be a very different mission. Now, according to leftover subtitles and mission instructions found in the game files, there was an unused mission planned that would have focused on Jimmy Hernandez's death. And in this mission, CJ would have to transport Hernandez's corpse in Tenpenny's car while avoiding police roadblocks. The mission was then going to end with a unique twist, which is a rhythm-based minigame similar to the dancing in the clubs or similar to the lowrider missions, where you would actually have to press buttons on screen in order to dig the grave for his body. And that's really ballsy of Rockstar to even think about adding a mission where you dig the grave of a police officer. In the mission Interdiction, if you look closely during the cutscene where the helicopter arrives after you ignite the flare, you can spot CJ seated in the passenger side of the helicopter. And later on in the mission, as you make your descent down from the cliffs after you've taken out the helicopters, you'll notice a Journey RV driving up the hill, and in the driver's seat is a priest, and in the passenger seat is a Los Venturas dancer. And if you arrive in a vehicle that only has one spare seat, in the mission Don Peyote, Kent Paul or Macca will enter the passenger seat, then exit immediately, and they will begin to argue over who gets to ride with CJ, including some interesting brand new animations.
Leave him, he'll be fine. We'll come back for you, I promise.
Oh, no, you don't. I remember Preston Guildhall.
I'm the manager. What I say goes.
The two eavesdropping NPCs seen in the mission Dam and Blast appear repeatedly throughout the game. They're the same duo that mock Mad Dog during his rooftop crisis in Las Venturas, and they also show up in Mountain Cloud Boys cheering on in the betting shop. In Cop Wheels, we know, thanks to unused dialogue, that the cops we steal the bikes from are called Larry and Harry. There's even some unique police scanner audio files that go unused in the mission, and the dispatch caller even makes fun of CJ's haircut.
Larry, some bitches trying your bike for size. Get in!
Patrol, this is Officer Stewart. I'm at the hospital and, well, some joker stolen my bike.
All units, this is an APB for a serial patrol bike thief. Suspect is black male, about 6 feet tall. Oh, and a stupid haircut.
If you've made it this far in, you're probably enjoying it. Around 90% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed to my channel. I'd love for some of you to stick around. I upload tons of GTA content, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're enjoying so far. Most missions in the game are carefully scripted to avoid referencing events from optional side missions. However, sometimes it slips through the net. The mission Up, Up and Away is one of these examples, because during the cutscene, Zero directly mentions the battle with Berkeley, even though these missions are completely optional, and at this point in the game, you could have opted not to do the missions. For some reason, during A Home in the Hills, the parachutes that the triads have is unique.
Invincible! Hey, wait up!
They have a different shape, texture, and even a different colour than the regular parachute that you can obtain in the game. Just quickly, if you're enjoying this video so far and I've provided you with, let's say, at least 5 facts about the game you didn't know, I'd love to earn your subscription because I have plenty of videos just like this on my channel and plenty more to come. Vertical Bird stands out as one of the only story missions in San Andreas that spans across all 3 major regions of the game. It kicks off at Mad Dog's crib in Los Santos, then moves to San Fierro as Carl infiltrates the naval station in Easter Basin in San Fierro, and then once you're in the Hydra you fly over into the desert and finishing up near Las Venturas, which is really cool. Now, there is another mission called Beat the Cock, which is a triathlon which does also take place across all 3 states, but in terms of actual story missions, then that is the case. The interior of the plane seen in the mission Freefall is actually not inside of a plane at all. You might have thought that this was the interior of something like a Shamal or an AT400, but this is just an interior located in the Blue Hell, which means it's extremely high above the game's height limit, but it's stored in memory here, so it's not inside of a plane at all. In the original version of Beat Down on Beat Up, at the end, CJ was meant to take Big Bear to rehab instead of Sweet. However, in the final version of the mission, it ends instantly and implies that Sweet has taken him to rehab instead. In the mission Riot, there's a slight mistake in development where CJ will say people don't know what they want in the cutscene, but his lips won't move to the audio.
The whole city's going up. People are fucking pissed off about this. People don't know what they want. We all being used.
You see, man?
The groove music in Cutthroat Business is the same track used in the Max Heat ad from Max Payne 2.
Some directions. This is my first time in the city. Oh, sir. I guess everything is bigger here.
Originally in End of the Line, Tenpenny's fire truck was supposed to spill oil onto the roads, but that was a removed feature that was supposed to be in the beta. During the very final cutscene, Tenpenny can be seen fully animated observing what is going on off camera if you use a camera hack, which is really interesting. Now, when Carl is standing over Tenpenny's corpse, he sarcastically says, "See you around, officer." Now, this is a cool full circle little Easter egg because in the beginning of the game, we hear Tenpenny saying, "See you around," like a donut. And originally following completion of this mission, Big Smoke's Crack Palace was supposed to serve as a safe house, but the idea was ultimately scrapped. However, you can still gain access to the building after completing the mission.